His association with now dead billionaire pedophile Jeffrey Epstein and accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell was clearly beyond the pale. But even worse, blinded by his own arrogance, he thought he could lie his way out of damning accusations made by Virginia Giuffre that she was sex trafficked to him when she was just 17. In the end, the damage Andrew was inflicting on the monarchy was so immense, King Charles had no option but to strip his brother of all his titles and honours, including Prince.
Let's begin with this question, because it really sets the stage for the story ahead. What happens when the royal family realizes that the scenario they quietly feared might not actually be the worst? According to several royal commentators this week, that is exactly the situation Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor is in right now. He is not only facing more embarrassment and harm to his reputation, but sources say his mental health has sharply declined as more material connected to Jeffrey Epstein keeps emerging from the United States. This isn't just about old photos coming back into the spotlight anymore.
Point. Public opinion is rather like the death of Diana, is way ahead of the palace. And I think they want him to be investigated, to be charged, and I think they would like him to be detained at His Majesty's pleasure.
It's now about a man who, by most accounts, is struggling to handle the full scale of what has already come out and what might still surface. Allegedly, Andrew is now under a quiet form of royal supervision. It's not public, not officially announced, but very real. Previous reports said he felt isolated and abandoned, but now sources suggest the situation has worsened. There is concern about leaving him alone for long periods, about his isolation, and about how he is coping with the steady release of damaging connections from Washington. Reporting claims Andrew's condition has worsened quickly in recent months. He is said to be physically withdrawn, mostly inactive, and increasingly disconnected from a normal routine. One source even described him as a shadow of the royal he once was, both mentally and physically.
Told I was going to meet a prince, and we went shopping, and Drew came over, and then we went to Club Tramp, and he danced with me, and he's a horrific dancer, by the way, and he sweats a lot, and he smells funny. And then we get in the car, and Andrew's not in the car with us, he's in the car behind us. Ghislaine tells me in the car that I have to do what I do for Jeffrey for Prince Andrew. And that's when I learned what was going to happen.
Another insider said he feels lonely and frustrated, dealing with the fact that he has lost not only his public role, but also his place in the family. While anonymous sources should always be treated cautiously, what makes this notable is how closely it matches what senior royal commentators are now saying openly. Speaking to The Sun, royal expert Alyssa Anderson summarized the family mindset with one line: plan for the worst, hope for the best. She admitted even those closest to the matter underestimated how damaging the Epstein material would be. Certainly, I couldn't have predicted how much the Epstein files would hurt Andrew, the man once known as Prince Andrew and a member of the royal family. That phrase may seem flippant, but it shows a real change in how he is seen.
I met you in 2001. She says she dined with you, danced with you at Tramp nightclub in London. She went on to have sex with you in a house in Belgravia belonging to Ghislaine Maxwell, your friend. Your response?
I have no recollection of ever meeting this lady.
Titles aside, Andrew's identity has changed completely. He is no longer a working royal, no longer shielded by the institution as before, and no longer protected from the consequences of what comes next. Expert Simon Viger explained that while the scale may have shocked the family, the risk didn't appear out of nowhere. Viger said the idea of just one photo linking Andrew to Virginia Giuffre was never realistic. They suspected it, and the chance that there would be only one photo taken in London was very small. The expectation of more material was always there, more photos, videos, and we haven't seen any videos yet. Epstein's properties were likely set up for that as well. That assumption shaped the royal family's behind-the-scenes response. Viger believes that's why decisive action was taken last autumn. The King and Prince William acted firmly in October and November to remove Andrew from royal duties. This wasn't a quiet retirement, it was deliberate. By late 2023, Andrew stopped appearing with senior royals, was left out of key family moments, and was no longer treated as someone whose presence could be managed. The decision was made knowing more information would likely come out, and indeed, more documents, photos, and videos are expected.
King Charles has been heckled over Prince Andrew's relationship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. So here's where that moment happened. That man asking how long the king had known about his brother and Epstein and questioned whether he had asked the police to, quote, cover up for Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew's links with Epstein have been under intense scrutiny lately. The prince relinquished his titles earlier this month.
The concern isn't just Sandringham, one of the family's most private estates. Vidger also referenced reports of Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein at Balmoral, not just on the grounds but inside private lodges. Photos already exist of Maxwell and Epstein at Balmoral, including in one lodge, he said. Buckingham Palace is also involved. Photos, Vidger continued, were taken in the throne room itself. That alone is shocking because the throne room is highly symbolic. Even the suggestion of photos there is deeply unsettling, and there is clearly more being slowly released from Washington, D.C. This slow drip is causing the biggest strain. Andrew isn't facing one single reckoning but ongoing uncertainty. Each new release adds pressure, reinforcing that this is far from over. Sources say it's taking a serious toll. He spends most of his time indoors with little structure to his days, living a mostly sedentary life, eating poorly and avoiding contact. Whether every detail is accurate or not, the picture is clear. This is not a man rebuilding his life but waiting for the next revelation. The royal family's main goal now is protecting the institution, limiting exposure, preparing for more disclosures, and quietly making sure Andrew doesn't completely unravel. The exact monitoring isn't clear, but multiple sources say efforts are being made to avoid leaving him fully alone for long periods. That shows just how seriously this is taken. For a family that values privacy above all, even discussing this publicly is significant. So where does this leave Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, stripped of role, status, and protection, facing scrutiny from across the Atlantic, and told to brace for the worst while hoping it has already passed? Is that hope realistic? That's the question for today. Share your thoughts in the comments. And for the latest updates on royal developments, subscribe to Famex.